What's up, challengers? Welcome to the gym. My name's Gym Leader Gio, and this is the third week of Season 6 of the GBA. The San Francisco GiEnteis are going up against the Pittsburgh Pirattatas and their coach, Old Man Tup. Now, this is, once again, just like last week, a division rivalry. Tup is also 2-0, so someone this week is going to get their first loss, unless there's a miraculous tie. I don't think that ties can happen outside of doubles, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this week. Someone's gonna get their first loss. I am nervous, I'm excited, and that's nerve-sided, guys. I am nerve-sided about this matchup. If you're interested to learn more about the team that I'm bringing for this week, check out the Locker Room Week 3, which is the video that went up immediately prior to this one. I go over what I expect from the Pirattatas and what I have prepared for myself. But one thing, the takeaway here is Tup's got a team that anything could happen, anything could be brought. So let's mess with some stuff. Let's put on music 9 for my own rewatching pleasure, and let's click battle start. I'm gonna bring my battle box, and let's see. Let's get some notes going. So, Excadrill, Hippowdon, yeah, Excadrill, Hippowdon, Rotom Heat. It was the Azelf. And over the Mega Pidgeot. That's surprising. That is very surprising. So, clearly he saw, as I did, that he didn't have a great matchup against me. Tentacruel instead of the Tangrowth. So, that was another one of the questions, was which one is he going to bring there. So, probably Rain Dish, but it could be Liquid Ooze. Probably Rain Dish, though. So, looking at this. Oh, what am I doing? I gotta... So, no Licky Licky, no Frostlass, no Tangrowth. No Mega Pidgeot, and no Liepard, and I have Entei, Manaphy, Cresselia, Zapdos, two, four, six. Who am I missing? Oh, Miss Maggie just needs to be clicked off. Okay. Okay, so this is the matchup. Without the Mega Pidgeot coming, the lead is a little less obvious. It could be the Hippowdon. Or it could be, you know what, I'm going to lead with Remix. And here's the reason. No matter what happens, I have switch-ins here. But I will get to see what the lead options... The Azelf could be a suicide lead. Azelf, he could want to lead with the Rotom to get... to kind of scout things out. I'll learn if it's a trick set, whether or not it's choiced. Cinnamon, the... Okay. Cinnamon the Rotom, so this is actually my ideal Rotom switch-in here. This is perfect, and I get to see whether or not it's likely defensive, offensive, Resto Chesto, based on the move set. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Overheat, and Pain Split. Okay. I could Volt Switch. I could Volt Switch here, outspeed him and get my Volt Switch off. However, he could just hard switch into the Hippowdon. One thing I could do is switch here. Here's my thought process. Whether or not he's gonna... He doesn't have Willow... He doesn't have status on this, which is awesome. That... No status at all is an amazing thing for me. Overheat is the highest damage I can do to him. And also the most damage I can do to basically anyone in his team, bar the Tentacruel, who I don't think is coming in. I think if he predicts a move, he's going to predict the Volt Switch. I'm going to click Overheat. And he's going to stay in. And we're going to see what he does here. So Overheat puts him in very little damage. So this will be good to see. He's just going to go for a Volt Switch. So he's very bulky. Very bulky. Especially bulky. Yeah, very specially bulky there. Likely switch is Hippowdon here. So I could have gone for the Volt Switch there, but there's not really any point, because if he had hard switched Winston, the Hippowdon. If he had hard switched there, then I wouldn't really have gained anything. I would have gained nothing from the hard switch. And having gone for the Volt Switch first, it wouldn't have done much damage to him. He would have then gotten the Volt Switch off to bring in anything he wants. I'd like to get Ditto in against this Winston eventually. But until then, DDG is probably the best bet for me. I can get in, set up a Psychic, Ice Beams, I can Ice Beam him. I can set up a Reflect if I want to. In general, DDG is a very safe switch in. It allows me to put in a little bit of damage on the Winston. I could also... The thing is, I don't want to switch in Zapdos in case he goes for the offensive against Remix right now and immediately goes for a rock type attack. I don't want to do that. He could switch immediately into Excadrill. I could also go into Chesnaught, who is a relatively good switch into Winston also. Could have Toxic. I don't really want to mess with this, but, you know, I'm going to go DDG. DDG is much more... The point of DDG is exactly what I'm using it for here, which is to kind of mess with some stuff. The Winston could pack Toxic. That could be his way to kind of deal with some of my walls. And that is fine, just fine for me. Azelf could be a more defensive variant. So he gets Rocks Up. I could get Rocks Up myself. That would help a lot with the potential that that's a sashed anything. He does have a Spinner, so maybe it's not worth it for me because he's likely to find an opportunity to get the Tentacruel in here. And that said, again, Remix is a pretty good switch into Tentacruel, and I would be able to just Rapid Spin mine away too. So maybe now's not the time for that. I could go Reflect here if he's likely to switch into, say, Heracross. Because Heracross or Azelf would be his primary answer to DGG. DDG, not DGG. Those would be his primary answers. Of course, Reflect doesn't do much in the ways of helping me against Azelf, except maybe a U-turn. It definitely helps a lot against that Heracross, though. So, thinking that, I think an Ice Beam is too obvious for me here. But he might have Toxic. That's the thing. He could have Toxic. And if he does, my best option would have been to click Ice Beam. Because I'd like to weaken this Winston. I'm going to click Reflect, though. I think before we know what he's kind of doing, he is going to straight withdraw. I'm hoping it's Heracross. Cinnamon, no, it's going back into... Okay, so he's probably scouting for the Ice Beam here. Maybe I'm regretting not bringing the... Oh, I'm going to look and see if Cinnamon is leftovers or not. He is leftovers. We didn't get a chance to see that last turn because he Volt switched out after I had hit him for damage. DDG comes back up to full. Cinnamon lies where he lies. Now, we know he has Overheat, Volt Switch. He has Pain Split. And this is probably realizing now that his defense investment is probably special. Yeah, almost certainly this is a specially defensive Rotom, because otherwise the Overheat should have done more from my dittoed Rotom to his Rotom. And his Volt Switch did negligible damage to me. So, I mean, my best answer to Cinnamon is still Ditto. But I think I'd rather just... Because what's he gonna do? He's gonna Volt Switch, probably. So I'm just gonna click Psychic. He's gonna stay and go for Thunderbolt. That's gonna do very little damage to me, but he gets the first turn Para. That's super unfortunate. I don't do much to him. T-Bolt's not doing much to me. Now, it definitely besuits him to be clicking Pain Split as he gets weaker. Oh, God, the Para, that's so unfortunate. 10% chance. Who would have thunk it? So, I could go Rotom and force this guy out. I don't think he's going to click Thunderbolt again. I think at this point it's already more worth it for him to click Pain Split. If that's the case, it might even be a good idea to go into Entei. Entei versus Rotom. I can O-Comb with Stone Edge. His T-Bolt, if that's what he opts to go for again, will hit me for 33 to 39%. That's more damage than I'd like, especially considering the rocks are going to come up. So it might be better for me to go into Zap Zap here. And I think I will. I'm going to go into Zap Zap. I'd like to get these rocks gone. And let's see what he clicks. He's going to go for the Pain Split here. So that'll take me down a little bit. Maybe about as much as the Thunderbolt would have. Yeah. Now he can Volt Switch here if he wants to. It'll hit me for neutral. One of the things about Zap Zap is that it's significantly less valuable to me knowing that he doesn't have a Mega Pidgeot. I think probably better to just click the Defog here. I'm predicting a hard switch into Hippowdon. But that's assuming I don't really know what else he has for the Zap Zap. He's seen the leftovers. He saw I'm not static. I mean, he could Volt Switch. I didn't mean hard switch. He's probably not gonna straight up hard switch, but I know he's gonna want to keep rocks on my side of the field. So I'm assuming Volt Switch is his best move. Yeah, he is going to Volt Switch. And that does very little damage. He could go into something offensive here if he really wants to push the button. Maybe an Excadrill switch in. I no longer have rocks on my side of the field, so that's good. Cresselia is still at very good health, but A-Train. Interesting. So maybe it would have been more in my favor to have clicked Roost there first and then Defog the next turn. He could be Nasty Plot. He could have Psyshock, which will 50 to 59% me. He could predict the switch into DDG. And click Shadow Ball. But I'm not 100% sure, but I don't really know that without setting up a bunch of nasty plots that he can really do a whole lot to me. Ditto might also be a good switch into this guy, and I'm going to check that in just a second. Most he's going to be doing to Cresselia is probably a Fire Blast for 27 to 32%. And against himself, a Fire Blast would also do a lot of damage. So, but I'd really like to know his set. That would be great. How much would a U-turn hit me for? A lot. Wow. Like a lot of damage. So, this is not actually ideal for me. I'm going to go DDG because I don't know if he's a Nasty Plot set yet. If he is, it might be beneficial to let him Nasty Plot to try and beat DDG. He's just going to go for the safe Psychic. It's difficult for me to assess what kind of damage that was. Reflect has worn off. He almost certainly has Shadow Ball. I'm going to click Moonlight because it's not going to be a 2-hit KO. He has Signal Beam, you know, similar damage. That does hit hard, and I get my Moonlight off. Sandstorm subsides, allowing DDG to get a little bit more of his health back. Now, it's risky for me to keep playing this Moonlight game against a Signal Beam, but it's the first turn he's gone for it, and a switch for me would be pretty obvious. But Entei really does not care about a Signal Beam at all. Like, really does not. So, yeah, Signal Beam would hit me for very little. He could, of course, immediately switch to Psychic, and that wouldn't be great for me. I might even just want to, like, hurt this thing a little bit with some Ice Beams. Ice Beam will hit it for 23 to 27. And that puts him in E-Speed range. I think that's worth it. I mean, this Mon is a secondary answer to Heracross, and you know what, though? It's one of my best answers for Tentacruel. But I still don't think that really matters. I'm going to click Ice Beam here and try and weaken this thing. He is going to choose to go for the Signal Beam again, so I could have gone into Entei, but I want to weaken this first. And I don't get fully parried. Hey, maybe I'll get a Freeze. He got a 10% chance. Now, there's a chance that he clicks Psychic, predicting a switch here. Because DDG could still be useful. But is it worth hard switching into Entei to save DDG? I don't know a lot about the rest of his team. But I know that at his remaining health, after that Ice Beam, an E-Speed should kill him. So that's looking to be a little less than 75%, but is it less than 60? I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough call. E-Speed actually might not guarantee me the kill here. I'm predicting he has like Thunderbolt or Grass Stab for the Manaphy. Maybe Fire Coverage also. Psychic won't kill me. He's probably gonna click. God, I cannot play decisions wrong here. What else can DDG do? Yeah, I'm gonna switch into decisions. I'm predicting the Signal Beam. And I think I can bring in Cresselia against the Hippowdon in the future to get some health back. He doesn't want to risk not killing me. He shouldn't click Psychic here. He's going to click Signal Beam again. That's not going to do a lot to me. Yeah, that does so little damage. Now, if the Rotom is specially defensive, then almost certainly the Tentacruel is physically defensive. This A-Train, I can't click Bulldoze because if the A-Train stays in to try and get as much damage off on me as possible with that Psychic, it's not going to be good news for me. I have to click the E-Speed here and guarantee that I at least get an attack off first. So he stays in, so he might have something for me here. He does not survive the E-Speed though, so A-Train goes down. First blood drawn. Azelf. Which is good. Very good news. That's his fastest Mon outside of the Excadrill in the sand. Potentially any Scarfed Mon. If he's got a Scarfed Mon, it will be Heracross. And we've got rocks off the field. And sand off the field at this time. So Entei picks up that first kill. We can learn a lot about him here. I think it's going to be Hippowdon in order to set up the sand and the rocks. Cinnamon, actually. Interesting. Interesting. So what I'm gonna calc here is under the same presumption I made before, which isn't an assurance, but it's a presumption that he is physically defensive, or specially defensive, not physically defensive. E-Speed, 2 E-Speeds will kill if he doesn't right away go for the Pain Split. Thunderbolt will hit for 33 to 39. E-Speed, actually, it probably won't 2-hit KO, so if I click E-Speed once, he probably clicks Pain Split on the following turn, but I'm still gonna click it once. And here's why. It's a little bit of damage. I don't think he's going to click Pain Split right away. Oh, that does so much. He does. He clicks Volt Switch. Ah, it's a crit. That's super unfortunate, actually. Because, I mean, I knew he was going to hit me for something, but that's a lot more damage than I was hoping to take. Kruger the Excadrill. So, Things we know. The fact that he comes in like this, and he doesn't show Mold Breaker. We know he's not Mold Breaker. He could be Sand Rush or Sand Force, but he's Jolly. He's definitely Jolly. Well, no, he knows I'm locked into E-Speed, so he might not be Jolly. He could be Swords Dance, but we've talked about what is my switch into this thing. It's Optimus Vine. So let's do it. Show him, Optimus. No stopping us. He clicks sub. So, a couple of things. The sub does not scare me all that much. If he subs Swords Dance, he lacks in coverage in one way or another, and we can figure that out pretty easily. I click Wood Hammer here, because it will break the sub. He's welcome to go for Swords Dance. That's fine for me. He has X-Scissor instead of... So that's not going to do that much. See that? Eat it up. And that's a really good thing, because that means he doesn't have Aerial Ace. Which was my bigger concern. So he's seen Wood Hammer. Knowing that he's not really probably going to want to switch into Hippowdon, he'll probably want to switch into his Rotom. He could click sub again. He's sub Leftovers variant with X-Scissor. Sub Leftovers X-Scissor. I could hard switch into Ditto here, because there's no way he's clicking Earthquake. He could click the sub again, but at least I'd get to learn his set, and I could easily switch back in with Optimus Vine. I'm also, you know, first though, I'm just going to click Superpower. This is a no drawback move for me. He's going to switch out probably into Rotom, and if he does, I think I'll kill him. Cinnamon, I think I kill him with Superpower. Show me that strength. Ah, yes. Get him, Optimus. No stopping us. Ah, yes. Cinnamon gone. That is huge for me. I am -1 defense now. Heracross is an easy switch in. Jade, haven't seen him yet. Actually, he's going to go into the Tentacruel. I'm bulletproof, so Sludge Wave doesn't do anything to me. Scald doesn't really do a whole lot either. He could Toxic, though. I think DDG here, for a couple of reasons. Well, let's think. It might be better to just go Ditto. A couple of things he could be doing. I don't know what he's got, first of all. But I can't stay in at -1 attack and attack this guy with, at best, neutral stab. If he goes for Scald, he could burn DDG, which is not DDG. He could burn Remix, which is not ideal. He could Toxic right away, and that wouldn't affect Ditto, because I would be a Poison type. But he also can't Toxic DDG, and I don't think he can 2-hit KO DDG. So I'm going to go DDG and take this opportunity to try and get a Moonlight. If I fail, then all I'm doing is giving myself a guaranteed safe switch the following turn. He's going to go Toxic Spikes. That's fine. Again, I could switch in Ditto against Jade right now and get rid of those. Zapdos could also come in. But I'm taking this opportunity to click Moonlight. I'd love to get some health back here. And keep DDG alive just for whatever else. He's got Sludge Wave. Unless he's very offensive, this isn't taking me out. Ah, I get fully parried though. I think one more will take me out. Shoot, that sucks. Let's try it though. He has to go for another attack here. I was kind of hoping he might be the Mirror Coat variety and have anticipated an attack there. He is going to click the Sludge Wave again. This will probably kill me. Yeah, it does. Okay. DDG goes down. Bump. Okay. Not the end of the world. Remix will get poisoned as he switches in, actually. Because I'm not, when I switch in, I'm normal type, and then I become not normal type. So it's gotta be Zap Zap. I have a little speed EV on this, but potentially so does he. We're both base speed 100. I'm specially defensive. I would love to get a Roost here, though. And so I will. Could be a speed tie. He might have just enough speed investment to try and creep some of these base 100s. He might have a significant amount of speed investment. But Tentacruel's not strong enough to land a 2-hit KO on Zap Zap. Unless he is. But I don't think he is. Nope, and I get a Roost off. So I'm able to get a little bit more health back than he's dealing to me. And I'm going to be able to get rid of these spikes in just a second. I don't think he's going to click it again. And I really want these spikes gone, but it's probably better for me to click Roost. I would have anticipated he would have gone for Scald there, and the fact that he didn't leads me to wonder a few things. So, Sludge Wave. Because Sludge Wave is only slightly more damage, but the amount that he did leads me to believe there is some special attack investment there, actually. Potentially a lot of it. But it couldn't possibly be that much. I'm gonna click Roost again because I'd really like to be at full health, but I think he switches. Now he's gonna switch for Scald to try and get a little bit higher chip damage with the burn on me. He does not get the burn. We've seen Scald, Sludge Wave, Toxic Spikes, and there's no way he doesn't have Rapid Spin. So I'm confident now that he does not have Mirror Coat. And I'm also relatively confident that Thunderbolt is going to wreck this guy's life. So, but I can't do that before I've defogged. Can I? I think I defog first. He's going to withdraw. Excellent. So, spikes are definitely off the field here as he goes into Winston to try and eat up the incoming Thunderbolt. Smart play. Gets up to Sandstream. I get off the defog. I'd really like to weaken this. If I'm being 1,000,000% honest, I'd really like to weaken this Hippowdon. One thing I think I can do is switch into Manaphy here. Now, we discussed in the Team Builder video whether or not I should be running Psychic or Ice Beam on the Manaphy, and I eventually went for the Ice Beam for a couple of reasons. I felt it was safer. The slightly unfortunate thing, obviously, is that against a Tentacruel, that makes it a little bit of a worse choice, but it's the very likely switch in to me is still the Tentacruel. I mean, I think he clicks Rock Stab here, or not, sorry, Rock Coverage here to try and hurt Zap Zap. He could go for the rocks, but I could also just switch in. I could switch in the Chesnaught here and click Grass Stab and try and hurt this Winston, but it won't actually do that much. Decisions is in a relatively okay spot as long as rocks aren't up. I don't really want to stay in here. I think I click Manaphy because I don't think he'll do too much to me with Stone Edge, and honestly I think he's going to click Stealth Rocks. He does click Stealth Rocks, yeah, he wanted the Stealth Rocks there. So, Tentacruel is his switch in all day for this thing. But, what I'm checking right now with my calcs, because I am still assuming, with that damage, I think he's an offensive Tentacruel. I honestly do. And the fact that he outsped me every time means he has to have a relatively decent amount of investment. But I'm not going to play this dumb. Let's assume, just worst case scenario, that he is modest Tentacruel. We know he has Spikes, we know he has Scald and Sludge Wave, and we haven't seen the fourth, but I'm relatively sure that it's Rapid Spin. If I set up to +3 right now, Scald hits him for 32 to 38, and he really cannot touch me. He really can't. I could also U-turn here for some momentum. but I don't know that that's the right play. I think Tail Glow is a better play here. He could stay in with the Hippowdon. He could against Manaphy, and Earthquake would hit me for 36 to 43, but I really don't think he wants to. I really don't think he wants to take a Scald. He's gonna play this right. He's probably gonna want to go into Tentacruel, and my best way to take out the Tentacruel is Zapdos or Manaphy, to be honest. So I'm gonna click Tail Glow here. He is going to stay in. He might have Thunder Fang for me, but I've got the Wakan Berry. No, he's just going to go for the Earthquake, trying to get out of as much damage as possible against me. Possibly a 2-hit KO, but let me tell you what's definitely going to kill him is a Scald. He's going to switch here. He's definitely going to switch here. You know, he could have the water reduction damage berry. I'm not 100% sure on what that's called. No, he doesn't. No, wait, no, we would have seen that already. He's just sacking Winston. We would have known that he doesn't, that he has Smooth Rock, probably. So, he can easily revenge me. Easily can revenge me, but the Hippowdon's dead, which is huge. I really needed Hippowdon dead. Now, remaining Pokemon. Kruger. I have a switch into this all day. It's my... There's no reason for me to stay in with Manaphy here and risk dying. Optimus Vine is my dedicated switch into this monster. So I go Optimus Vine here. He could set up the sub. He could even switch himself, and we'll see. Because I am IV'd to... Yeah, he does go for the sub there. So, I mean, I could have predicted that and just gone for the... There really was no need. There was no need for me to do anything there. He could be Swords Dance variety, but again... The most valuable thing for me to do is to break that sub. He's going to click X Scissor. 117 down to 84. Does 33 damage. And will I survive? Yes, I will, after the sandstorm damage. You can click sub again. And here's the thing. Synthesis in the sand is not going to recover very much health. But it's still better for me to keep this guy alive because he's also my primary switch into Heracross. So I'm going to click Synthesis anyway. He's going to click Substitute again. And I'm just gonna... I know it's not recovering a whole lot of health, guys. I know that. I know it's only 25%. I'm aware. But it's still worth it for me to burn these sand turns and get some health back. Especially because if he's... I'm clicking it again. He does have access. So, he would have gone for Swords Dance by now if he has it. So, it's better for me to just gain health back and stall out the sand until the sand is completely gone. There we go. Sand is gone. And now... Now there's not really a whole lot... The sand is gone, presumably for the rest of the game, unless that's his fourth move on... I don't think Tentacruel even learned Sandstorm, but he could on the Excadrill. I could reveal Spiky Shield here, just to get some chip damage on him. He's not going to... I don't know all his moves. Earthquake, X-Scissor, and Substitute. He's got a fourth. Not sure what it is. Could be Rock Slide. I'm going to click Spiky Shield here first. and we'll see what he does. He is going to click X Scissor again. I protect myself and do some damage to him. Just a little bit. Just some chip. Just some chip. I'll get a little bit more health back with my... I'm actually going to Synthesis here. I know I'm, like, wasting slightly some points of this, but he's going to spam X Scissor, and I don't want to crit to put me in a dangerous range. We're seeing it's probably that it was Sand Force. That damage was less than the moves prior. So I'm back up to a good amount of HP. Now I can just do this weird alternating Wood Hammer to break his sub, forcing him to sub again. Shenanigans. I think he wants to switch out, but he's not going to do it until he's whittled me to a level that I'm happy with. And I've broken his sub, because it's a waste of a sub if he doesn't. Now, if he subs again, I know he wants to stay in because he wouldn't go sub-switch. So what I'm going to do this turn is Synthesis. Because if he does opt to switch, I want to be at full health. I think he's going to click sub if he wants to stay in. And I'll just break it next turn. Sub if he wants to stay in. Or hard switch into Tentacruel if he wants to switch out. Tentacruel is definitely his best answer to my current situation here. Definitely the best answer. He is going to withdraw, so I'm going to be at full health. I don't anticipate... Yeah, it's going to be Jade. Okay. Now, against me here. Chesnaught versus an offensive Tentacruel. Offensive Tentacruel. I really would have predicted, like, fully defensive, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So, Scald, he could go for Scald Burns. That would be really bad for me, actually. I simply cannot allow Scald Burns here. I simply cannot. I could go into Ditto. Or I could go into Zap Zap. I could also go Manaphy. But I can't really recover the health back. He will eventually beat me if I'm, like, switching in and out. Decision's not a great time until someone goes down from it. Let's think. What's Zap Zap good for here? He's going to get outsped probably by the Heracross. And, yeah. I'm going to go Zap Zap. Just try and put some hurt on these guys. Probably Scald here to try and get a burn. Let me explain something here. I'm not trying to stall Tup out. That's not a good idea for me. But it would be ideal if I were in a situation where I could make some significant moves against him. He hasn't revealed the Heracross yet. He's going to click Sludge Wave here. It's the higher hitting move. 114 down to 62, and I roost up into a position where I can survive 2 hits. Now, obviously he could switch into Excadrill and be fine from this Thunderbolt, which is the obvious move that I click here. But it's not worth me clicking Heat Wave and doing no damage, because this Tentacruel being weakened is actually pretty important for me. I'm going to click Heat Wave. I think he switches to Excadrill. Oh, baby. Show me. Show me Excadrill. Ah, nice. Nice. Good night, Kruger. Good night. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. Get it, Zapdos. Get it, Zap Zap. Love it. Okay, so Excadrill is dead. We've got Heracross. Hercules! No, I'm sorry, Heracles, which is the way better way to say that, by the way. Way better way. So, Heracles is here. Let's do a quick assessment. Because I don't think a Scarfed will kill me with a Rock Slide. But I think a Band would. If it's Adamant Scarfed, Stone Edge does not kill me. Heat Wave doesn't kill him, but it does not kill me. But if it's Banded, Stone Edge will kill me. And what about Chesnaught, though? I don't really need it for anything else anymore. So Heracross, if it's Banded and locks itself into... The best thing it could lock itself into for damage against Chesnaught is close combat. And if it's Banded, it will 2-hit KO me. But then he's so weak that I can pretty much finish him off with anything. Stone Edge will do negligible damage. Let's figure out exactly how much this is. So 195 remaining HP on Chesnaught. Let's see what he locks himself. He might not even be... He could be Swords Dance ready, but I've still got Ditto in the back. Could be Sub also. That would be probably not the best move. He does lock him... Go for Stone Edge. 83 down to 63. 83 down to 60. Well, I don't know why I calc that. It's obviously... It's obviously 20 damage. So a Stone Edge hit me for 20. That's not banded damage. Is it Scarf damage? That is a mid-range Scarf. I mean, obviously this could also be E-Belt. We'll see if he switches moves right away. And he could have Aerial Ace, but little does he know what I'm packing. Spiky Shield to scout to see if he's gonna... What he's gonna do. He's gonna switch, so... I am predicting then, given all this information, that he's probably Scarfed. He is probably Scarfed. So he will outspeed a majority of the remaining Mon I've got here. He does so little damage, if that's the case. I mean, even if he is E-Belt, close combat's not super effective against me. Aerial Ace. With my berry intact, so little damage. Obviously with the berry out of tact, it's gonna wreck me. But it won't kill me. It still won't kill me, and I can get chip damage on him then. So, let's put that back there. Probably my best bet is to, even if he predicts me and doubles back into Heracross, I still think Zap Zap is my best answer here. Because now, Zap Zap can click Thunderbolt with impunity. And I can take... Yeah, this is... Sorry for this maneuver. I know this isn't super fun to watch, guys, but it's my best option here on the Sludge Wave. Brings me down a little bit. I can click Roost here. He probably switches, but he doesn't need to... I don't need to Roost here. I don't need to. I'd rather put damage on this... I'd rather put damage on Jade, because another thing to consider... is that once Jade gets weakened to the point that Entei can come in and E-speed him to death, or Bulldoze. I could Bulldoze also. Yeah, because Zapdos' Thunderbolt will put Jade in E-speed range. So then I can E-speed him and then follow that up with an E-speed on the Excadrill. Not the Excadrill, on the Heracross. But I think it makes more sense for me to just play safe here. No, it doesn't. It makes more sense for me to get damage on Jade. I'm clicking Thunderbolt here. He's going to go for another Sludge Wave. Hurts me. T-Bolt on the Jade. Oh, so much damage. And Para! Okay, so we both got a T-Bolt Para this game. The significance of this is that Zap Zap would have died next turn. And now, instead of that, we see the leftovers go off at different times, or Black Sludge leftovers. Now, I can click Roost. I was going to have to lose Zap Zap next turn to the Sludge Wave. Instead, I click Roost, and I don't lose Zap Zap. So that was a very fortunate paralysis on my part. That said, the hacks balance out there because he got the paralysis on DDG on a turn that I would have survived and gotten a Moonlight off, so DDG could have been alive. He's going to go for the Scald here, trying to net those burns. That's a smart play. That is a smart play. I get to kill him here. I could be at higher health. I don't want to play with my luck too much here, but... Or do I? No, I'm just going to click T-Bolt and finish him off. I'm gonna click T-Bolt, finish him off, and then I'm gonna see what he locks himself into on the Heracross. Knowing that he's Scarfed, he can pick one move here, precisely one move to take on everybody, or try and net himself one final kill. So we established probably Adamant Scarf. Stone Edge will do 71 to 84% to me, so that will kill me if he hits me with it. Yeah, he'll kill me if he hits me with Stone Edge, but if he chooses to lock himself into Stone Edge, is that really what he's gonna do? I think I switch into Chesnaught here, because if he does lock himself into Stone Edge, he's lost the game. If he locks himself into something else, you can see what it is, like Mega Horn, then I know that Entei can probably survive that and finish the game off then, or I can go into Ditto afterwards. I think that's the move. I think I go into Optimus Vine. Again, could be E-Belt. Could be E-Belt with Swords Dance. We don't know, but I think he's Scarfed. The way he preserved it. He does choose to lock himself into Stone Edge, trying to lower that differential a little bit. Optimus Vine is going to be able to... how many... What's my best move against him? Obviously, Superpower and Woodhammer, they both have drawbacks here. Because Superpower will lower... I think the best play is Spiky Shield, followed by Woodhammer, followed by Spiky Shield, followed by Woodhammer until he dies. Unless I want to give the kill to something else. Why didn't that... Oh, because it doesn't make contact. You have to make contact for it. Okay. Then Woodhammer Synthesis alternatingly. He clicks the Stone Edge. He could get crits. That's a very real possibility. But at this point I have to play... I don't like having to do the Ultra Stall just to play for differential, but I want the higher differential here. It's very beneficial in the League format to have higher differential. I should know, because 2 consecutive seasons of not making the playoffs due to differential. My phone is buzzing over there. I think people are like, you should be done by now, but I'm not. I'm not, guys. Woodhammer. He clicks Stone Edge. He has hit all of these. Good for you, Tup. Stop it, phone. I've had enough of this. Enough of these shenanigans. I'm not going to click Synthesis here. I'm going to click Woodhammer again. You know what? I kind of want to switch to Ditto and give Ditto a kill. But that's disrespect. I don't want to disrespect this man. Or do I? Ditto, I want you to have kills. Can Heracross beat Heracross? Ah, Heracross. Choice Scarf versus Heracross. Choice Scarf. Stone Edge hits for 44 to 55. He might... You know what? I'm not going to do it, and here's why. I care about differential more than I care about who gets the kills. And if I switched into Ditto, because he's Scarfed also, there's a chance he wins the speed tie and 2-hit KOs me with that, with the Stone Edge. So... I'm just going to stay in here. I'm going to give it to Optimus Vine. He clicks Stone Edge. He finally misses, so I actually could have switched into Ditto there. But that is going to be an amazing game to Tup. Oh, I'm sorry. Tentacruel White. And I get a crit on the last move. I get a crit. Hacks in this game. Oh, man. It's crazy. That was a really fun game, Tup. Thank you. Your prep was very good. The Tentacruel was very problematic, but I pull up a big 5-0 win against Mr. Tup, Mr. Old Man Tup himself. I'm going to save that battle video. If you guys are interested in checking out Tup's side of the battle, I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description down below this video. Thanks and shout outs gotta go to my front office. I had a couple people helping me out this week. I don't like to name names of front office people, but helping me practice, and I really like that. It gives me a little bit more confidence in these battles to know what to expect a little bit. I want to say thank you to both RizzyPOW and Tom of the San Jose Sharpedos, because they helped me gen my Pokemon for this week. So thank you guys so much for doing that. I really do appreciate it. And you guys should definitely go check them out if you haven't already. Tom, He's a good battler. His record, don't let his record get to you. He's a good battler, and I know that Rizzy is also in a draft league of his own, so definitely go check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, my name's Gym Leader Geo. You guys are the challengers. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time.